what you've watched on film on both sides of the ball?
They're a very good football team, and Dak Prescott makes them better than very good. He's you take him away from that team, they're still really good. You know, defensively, they're one of the best in the nation against the rush, and they just don't give up much on the ground at all. And then offensively, they got a sound running back. He's hard to bring to the ground. The receivers have improved. Coach Mullen and his staff built in 6 years, have built a good team there, and they've got quality depth everywhere, and it shows. And they're not afraid to play them. And then anytime your quarterback plays really special like theirs has, with the talent that they've assembled around him, it's a very solid football team. They're ranked that high, and they're deserving of it. And speaks to the depth in our SEC West also, that we've talked about all year. But I think they've done a nice job building really good depth there and developing the kids that they've recruited.
Hugh, two things. One, what is it about Dak, in your opinion, that makes him so special as a player, as a leader, that kind of thing? And then, speaking of quarterbacks, can we get an update on the health of yours?
I think you hit the key word there in describing him. I think everyone, even outside their family, would say that he's a great leader. I think it's easy to see that the players that play with him want to follow him and they believe in him. And then you put his performance with those leadership qualities, and it makes him a pretty special player. Bo, obviously hurt his ankle the other night. It is an ankle sprain. It would take a lot more than that to keep him out of this game, I'm sure. He's hungry and wants to play in this game in a bad way. And he'll do probably, he's going to try to go no matter what, whether it was more than a sprained ankle or not. But he's gotten better each day, yesterday and today, so hopefully he'll be close to 100%.
Hugh, you stressed after the game Saturday and again today that your players will understand the importance of this game. Was that something that was lacking a little bit last year?
Oh, no. Just when you play two good teams, whoever makes the fewest mistakes usually wins. But you can't look at last year's film and say that the passion wasn't there, or the effort. Even the effort was there last Saturday too. After watching the film, our defense played their guts out and had their backs against the wall the entire game, and fought goal line stand after goal line stand, and gave up a few big plays on the over routes. But no way in the world it was because of a lack of understanding of the game last year.
Under the circumstances, the Egg Bowl is always big for recruiting, obviously for the Mississippi players, but this year with both programs doing so well, does it have a little bit more emphasis?
You ask me this every year, and I'm going to give you the same answer that I gave. Yes, it is important. It is important in recruiting. I do believe it's been proven over the last few years, though, that the relationships that you build with most kids over the course of the years you recruit them typically win out in the end, regardless of the score of the game. Until something happens that I see that otherwise, this could be a different year because of the rankings and where they could end up and all of that. But to this point, my experience has said, yes, it's important. But after a couple of weeks and it's over and you get down to the decision time, I think a lot of kids probably know where they lean, and it's because of other factors other than just who won a game. That's my opinion.
When you watched the Arkansas game, obviously the 6 turnovers, but what else would you think of how the offense performed, and what could you take out of it?
I thought if we'd have got a couple of those red zone touchdowns in, the game could have been totally different. Defense was playing well enough to keep us in it, but you can't create turnovers that give them the ball inside the 20 and 5 and against anyone and expect to win. But our defense played well enough to keep us in it. But At the end of the day, you know, I don't know. We did have a few things that we thought we could run, and running the ball. We got away from that, obviously, when you get down, and probably maybe got away from it a bit too early, and we're not balanced at all. But we could move the ball, but you can't, you know, at the end of the day, I tried to find fault in effort. I didn't see it. You can't turn the ball over like that and put your backs against the wall in this league, for sure. I think the fourth down call where we stopped them and we were called for offsides, and there was a couple of key things. That was a big one, and then the two interceptions in the tight red zone were big, and then the two fumbles that gave them a 1-yard drive and a 23-yard drive or whatever it was. Those are two short fields that you give them, and those plays were so critical in it, and we could never